Welcome, members of the human race and others. Today I'm going to be going over the 3 most common ways to combo somebody in Minecraft. Now these methods are done in 1.8 because other versions of Minecraft it's not really about the amounts of hits you get, it's about the timing of them. But either way, these will be good on minigames like Bed Wars, Sky Wars, Block Sumo, and basically anything else PvP related on servers like Hypixel and Bed Wars Practice Club. Now, I do not normally do scripted voiceover videos like this, so I'm not exactly sure how I'm supposed to format this, but I've basically just written an essay which I'm going to overlay over the footage, which should hopefully line up to show you what these methods look like in game. So without further ado, I'll get into the first method, which is called the strafe combo, or as I've heard some people call it, the circle combo. Okay, so the major parts of the strafe combo, and yes, I do prefer this term, not circle combo, because not everybody wants to literally run circles around their opponent, is that you have to move side to side using A and D keys. That is, of course, assuming that you haven't changed the movement hotkeys, which I'd say is a pretty fair assumption, because anybody who has changed the movement hotkeys, I am scared of you. But the reason this works for comboing is because it allows you to hit the opponent and then immediately move out of the area where you think they're going to hit you. So instead of getting that hit, they click on empty air, allowing you to hit them again and resume this cycle. Now, the strafe combo is the easiest method of comboing to learn, and it is the one that I used to do a lot when I played games like Bed Wars, because it allows you to get more hits on the other person and to do damage to them. But, of course, this doesn't help in other game modes where you can't do damage, because these days I play Block Sumo, and the point of that game is to knock your opponent off the island, which means this combo is not, good at all. And it's very difficult to hit a player off the island when you're moving from side to side, and so your knockback is like moving them side to side instead of just straight off the island. And so for knockback related games, you might want to think about learning some more difficult methods of comboing. Now this next one I will call the block combo, because what it entails is placing a block in front of your opponent to impede their momentum and movement, allowing you to step out of their hit range and then sprint back at them, dealing a ton of knockback. The reason this method is good is because it can be used in many situations. I've seen a lot of professional Bed Wars players doing this strategy to get more hits and do more damage, but I've also seen a ton of Block Sumo players using the block combo strategy in order to deal more KB and get their opponent into the void. I have always found the block combo strategy to be a pretty difficult way of comboing to learn, because sometimes I will place blocks that end up impeding my own motion and stopping me from moving, which is not what you want, and that allows the other player to actually win the fight. But sometimes, especially if you have high ping like me, you try and place the blocks and it doesn't even work because the server thinks the player is in the blocks even when they aren't. Or the player just walks right through them because the server registers the blocks placed after the player moved through them, which is really annoying. And I guess it doesn't make sense to people who don't have high ping because you won't understand what it's like, but just understand that block comboing can be really annoying if you have high ping, and so your blocks might place later. And that reason is why, though I like the block comboing method and I find it very cool and useful and it also looks really nice to do, I tend to stick with the third method of comboing people, whether I'm playing Bed Wars or Block Sumo. The third method is called W tapping. It relies on the Minecraft mechanic of knockback to get more hits on the other player than they can hit on you. You see, the way Minecraft works, you deal more knockback if you're sprinting at a player when you hit them, but if you hit them a second time while you're still sprinting, it deals a significant amount of less knockback than the first hit. Now this is an issue because 2 full sprint hits can be the difference between winning and losing a game of Block Sumo, and that's why people have been working around the clock to come up with workarounds. Now this workaround that I'm talking about is W tapping. There are other ones, S tapping, I'm sure that there are other strategies, but basically it's just stop your momentum and redo the sprint hit. So you see, people in the community found that if you reset your momentum and stop moving for a split second before restarting the sprint, you can, if you can properly time your quick letting go of W to the time when the opponent is not hitting you, because of course you take more knockback if you are not moving, but if you time it between your 2 hits and when they're not hitting you, you can deal the full amount of knockback twice and push them out of the range to hit you. Okay, so I know that sounded confusing, and so to make it less confusing, I'm going to say it in a step-by-step format. So step 1 is to deal the first sprint hit. So what this entails is sprinting at the player and hitting them while you're moving, because that deals the most amount of KB. Next, you have to let go of W. Now try and do this really quickly, because if you let go of W for too long, they might be able to hit you, and that could kill you. So what you want to do is, after you've hit the first hit on the opponent, they're out of range to hit you, so you want to let go to just completely reduce your momentum to 0. And then, once you've done that, reduced your momentum, the player hasn't hit you, you hold W against it, you resume sprinting, and deal the second hit again before they hit you, hopefully, so that you can do that combo. So I know that was a lot of information in a pretty short video, but I'm just going to reiterate what the 3 methods were so that you don't have to go and watch the video over again. The first method of comboing was the strafe combo. Strafing while block comboing allows you to mess with your opponent. Am I here? Am I there? I have no idea. While also allowing you to absolutely destroy them in terms of damage. And if you W-tab and strafe at the same time, the opponent is going to get sent flying in all sorts of directions. Besides, it's even funnier if they're very laggy, because you just get to see them teleporting into the void. But anyway, that's the end of the video. I really hope that this helped, and if there's a red subscribe button down below, do not forget to hit it and make it gray. Alright guys, bye-bye.